Moving forward, I will use my income just for myself, and I will be partying as frequently as I wish.
What?
We're breaking up if you refuse.
We're already divorced. You and I are strangers at this point.
Trouble Busters!
My name is Alan. I'm 31 and my wife has been giving me a headache. She refuses to take care of anything around the house.
Hey, stop looking like you're sad cleaning the house.
I'm sorry.
I can't even relax at home. I don't even know why I'm with you.
Heather won't even listen to anything I want to say. She probably thinks I'm just her ATM/housekeeper. I wish we could go back in time to when Heather used to be just a housewife. She used to take good care of me back then, but she's a different person now. She's been cruel. I'm home. Wait, is that the divorce paperwork?
Moving forward, I will use my income just for myself, and I will be partying as frequently as I wish.
What?
We're breaking up if you refuse.
You're breaking up if I refuse? So you're not giving me a choice here, huh?
You do have a choice to break up with me.
I don't have a choice then. How can I refuse if you say something like that?
You're right, that is my intent. I don't plan on discussing anything with you. Why do I need to listen to what you have to say anyways? Heather's being serious. You should listen to her. That's right. Heather's pretty, and she has no hesitation breaking up with you.
Is that true, Heather?
It's like, whatever. If we're keeping our relationship, that's fine. And if we're not, that's fine too. I don't care. I won't regret it either way.
I've always wanted us to support each other since we both work.
See, you're trying to take away freedom from Heather. In my opinion, that's just your egocentric thoughts. They're right. I can't believe how you've been taking advantage of me like that.
I never took advantage of you, and I've always loved you.
Nope, you can't fool me anymore. I already found out after I started working and met other people.
Found out?
That's right. You and I are not a match. Kathy and Annie have been divorced too. They each had their struggles with their ex-husbands. I told them about you, Alan, and they agreed that you should be doing more for me.
Is that why you've been acting differently now?
Yep, I hope you don't blame them because they're just telling me the truth.
If you had so many concerns about our relationship, why couldn't we talk between the two of us instead of getting your friends involved?
Why would I want to talk to you if you're the problem? Besides, women understand other women better than men. You should realize that you only deserve to keep your relationship with her if you're willing to do whatever it takes. Stop asking questions and just tell me what you're going to do. I have the signed paperwork ready right here to break up with you.
I see how it is. I get it now.
Now you get it. All right, then my friends and I are going to a party now. See, we told you that your husband won't be able to do anything about it. You were right. I'm so glad I talked to you girls. We have experience getting divorced, so we know what we're talking about. I'm so grateful to have you both by my side.
She wants to break up with me if I refuse, huh? Oh wow, she really did sign this form on her end. And those two ladies also signed it as her witnesses. I'm not sure if Heather is being serious about this, but I know she's serious to an extent to sign this paper on her end. I guess this is it then. I decided that this relationship was over at this point. I immediately started packing up my belongings. It only took me 3 hours to pack everything up, which made me realize how humbled down I was in this house. This is pathetic. I thought I was doing whatever it takes so we could support each other. Whether she's bluffing or not, there's no way I can continue living with a woman like her. I'm not letting her get away with this. Trouble Busters. I wonder when was the last time I ever got to relax like this. Hello?
Hello, Alan. I'm out partying with Kathy and Annie again. I need a ride to get me home. Can you come pick me up?
Nope, I'm not going.
What? Are you sure you want to refuse? I'm going to break up with you if you're going to refuse. Are you okay with this?
We're already divorced. You and I are strangers at this point.
Wait, what do you mean?
I filed our divorce paperwork.
You're joking, right?
I'm not joking.
Hey, Kathy, Annie, Alan's telling me that he filed our divorce. What? He's kidding, right? What have you guys done? He's not going to do as I say, but he's going to leave me. You can't blame us. This is ultimately between you and your husband.
The paperwork is already on file and there's no way of going back from this.
Wait, hold on. How could you make such an important decision on your own without talking to me?
Let me remind you that you filled out and signed that form on your end, and you initially suggested that we could break up. That's why I decided to break up with you, and you can't say anything about this.
I said those things because I wanted you to do as I say.
Either way, it only makes you a terrible person, and I can't love you anymore.
Wait, Alan, can we talk about this?
Our divorce is already filed. There's nothing to talk about. We just need to discuss how we'll divide our properties and assets, and we'll do that on a later day, okay? Bye now.
Hold on, I think we need to calm down and talk about it. Oh, Alan, oh God, oh, this can't be true.
Heather kept calling me back again and again, while I only told her that she should talk to my lawyer if she had anything for me. On a later day, Heather, her parents, my parents, and I grouped up to discuss how we'd be dividing our property. I'm not sure why, but Heather also brought her two friends to this discussion.
We're breaking up if you refuse.
This is how Heather had presented her idea for us to get divorced.
Heather, how could you?
Alan is a nice man, and he makes a stable income too. Why would you look down on him like this?
I wasn't planning on actually breaking up with him, but Alan misunderstood and filed our divorce.
You can't blame me on this. You even had the form filled out on your end. You even had your friends sign to be your witnesses too. You can't tell me that you were joking. And even if it was, it's a bad joke.
But every time I told you we could break up, you would always listen and do as I said. That's why I said those things.
And I've had enough.
But...
Alan, I understand that my daughter has crossed the line, but is there any way that you could think about this one more time? There's no way. I've already done all the thinking before I turned in the paperwork. I've always wanted to believe that she'd realize what she's doing someday, but when she brought those two friends right there along with the divorce forms, I decided that this is the end of the story.
Alan shared with me that he felt demoralized when Heather acted as if she was having fun with her friends as she presented the divorce form. He felt that way because my friends were being so irresponsible about it. It's not their problem if anything happens to our relationship, so that's why... You can't say that. You kept venting out about your husband without us asking any questions. I just needed someone to listen. I wasn't planning on breaking up with him. But you kept telling us how much you wanted to break up with him. Kathy is my witness too. I never said that. You need to stop lying. You're the one who's lying. How could you say that after all of this happened? You're both divorced and you must have been jealous that I was still married. Even if what you're saying was true, it was ultimately up to you. That's right. You can't blame us for this. No, you guys did this to us.
Can you guys do this another time, somewhere else? We're not here to watch you guys argue. Not that I support what your friends are saying, but you're ultimately the one who decided to sign that form and threaten me the way you did. There's no excuse for that. You made me do everything around the house and you demoralized me. You went partying every night.
Is that true, Heather? I had no choice. My friends kept asking to hang out.
You had the choice to tell them no if you didn't want to hang out with them.
You need to understand that you would have a completely different life being married versus being single. And it looks like you don't understand that, or you're refusing to understand that. When you're married, you need to be willing to compromise what it takes for you and your spouse to support each other. That's what marriage is. You get married when you are willing to do all of that.
If only you hadn't presented me with the form for divorce, I'd probably continue to believe that one day you'll be back to the person you used to be. I married you because I was willing to make my end of what I could do to compromise.
Well, then we can get back together.
No, we can't. You weren't even willing to talk to me about our relationship, but you chose to talk to your friends. You decided things on your own without even discussing anything with me. You hurt my feelings and you tried to get away with it. Even to this day, you're not even willing to admit that this was your fault. There's no way I'm going to live the rest of my life with a woman like you. You're gonna look away from me again when something isn't right between us.
I won't do that. I'm going to quit my job and I'll make sure I support you moving forward.
I wished you said that to me when we were still married.
But I said I'm sorry.
I accept your apology, but I don't accept you as my wife anymore. You treated me like a piece of trash. I can't be with you any longer.
Do you even realize how selfish you're being? Maybe you want to break up with me because you want to kick back.
You're the one who wanted to kick back and relax, and that's why you threatened me that you'd break up with me. You can't take it out on me like this.
I can't kick back and relax unless I have you in my life. You better be responsible for this.
What responsibility are you talking about? You can't kick back anymore because you suggested that we break up. I never wanted it to end like this. Heather, I think you're at fault here. But then, Alan, if there's one thing I'd like to point out, you submitted the divorce form on your own without telling Heather.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How selfish of you.
If you become single again, you won't be obligated to support your family. I understand where you come from, but I also feel that you took advantage of the situation too. That wasn't my intention. Besides, if that was how I felt about this marriage, I would have broken up with her long ago.
If you were going to suck it up, you should have sucked it up until the very end. You can't just leave me like this out of nowhere. You could have been the one who suggested we break up. You need to stop acting like you're the victim. It's your fault that you never chose to argue with me.
What?
You could have been more expressive when I presented you with the divorce form. Why didn't you tell me that you were upset about it? You can't just tell me now that it made you upset and break up with me without even telling me. You're just trying to avoid having to deal with me, and you're a coward for what you've done to me.
You ganged up with your friends to use divorce as a threat to me, so I would do whatever you say. At that point, I can tell that you don't love me anymore.
I do love you.
You're not persuading me. How could you do something like that to someone you love?
I did it because I love you. There is nothing more satisfying for a woman to have her man do anything she wants.
You only care about satisfying yourself. You don't care how painful it was to me when you acted like that. I don't think that's how marriage works, right?
And I've been asking you to let me fix myself.
No, it's already too late. You keep telling me that you love me, but to say it precisely, you just love it when I do anything you say. I would have just sucked it up if this was just about how you never clean the house or cook for me, but then you never even appreciated me for what I did.
Oh, is that what you wanted? Appreciation? Since when was this a quid pro quo?
I didn't ask for appreciation because it's something that someone should naturally feel. I can tell that you never naturally felt that way, and that's why you can say all those things.
Oh, I don't know.
As much as I've been slightly shocked that you don't appreciate what I do, I've been furious to know that you've been taking me for granted. Like that one time when I cooked and waited for you to come home, but you just said you already ate and walked away from me. You have no care or appreciation for me. You probably think it's my job to do those things.
I was like that because you were the only person I could be myself when I'm with. I trusted that you'd understand me.
Be yourself? That's not a valid excuse for not caring about how the other person might feel. Manners matter, even among husband and wife. What you're saying doesn't justify your lack of care about how I felt when you acted the way you did.
If that's how you felt, why didn't you tell me right then and there? You can't be talking about these things now when it's in the past.
Every time I tried talking to you, you said you're either tired or you're annoyed by me. You never gave me the chance to talk to you.
That's because the way you communicate sucks. You need to walk in my shoes.
No, you need to walk in my shoes. It's not like you didn't know any of this until now. These are all how you've been acting when you were with me, and you need to accept your consequences.
But then how do I get you to take back this divorce?
I'm not taking it back. I said you need to accept it. You've chosen to be yourself all the time, and there's no way to go back. The only thing you can do is to fix yourself so you don't make another mistake with whoever you're going into a relationship with moving forward.
But I only have a part-time job. How am I going to live making only $1,200 a month?
That's a problem you need to face because you chose to destroy our relationship. It's not my problem at this point. If you're gonna tell me that you can't live on your own if I break up with you, you shouldn't have been bluffing about the divorce to begin with.
But that was because I never even imagined that you would end up breaking up with me.
You can't say that. You filled out and signed that form. Look, I don't want to be spending a second longer arguing like this. You're trying to get back together with me, and you're still taking defensive and argumentative behavior. It doesn't look like you learned your lesson. We haven't even been able to talk about the property division, but I guess we'll just go by the books. That's gonna be the last thing I'll be doing for you.
Wait, hold on.
No, I don't even want to talk to you, and I don't even want to see your face. I hope you learn your lesson and stop blaming other people on every problem you face.
Wait, Alan, don't go. Hey, I said don't go, Alan.
Of course I didn't stay, as she says. Some people never change, no matter how challenging life can be or how they're given the opportunity to learn their lessons. My parents stayed after I walked out. They later told me how Heather had started taking things out on her own mother and father, blaming them for the fact that I broke up with her because of the ways her parents had raised her. The argument ultimately ended with her parents disowning her at that point. She's a stranger to me now, and there's nothing I could do to help her. All I can say is that she needs to fix her blaming mentality and learn to stand her ground, or else she will never find happiness in her life. A year later, both Heather and I were living completely different lives. Heather had been room sharing and ended up sleeping with her roommate's husband. I heard she's been charged to pay the settlement for that incident, and she's working night and day to make barely enough money. As for me, I live with my new girlfriend now. My life has been serene and peaceful having her by my side. I can say that what happened this time between Heather and me can happen to anyone. No one should ever ride along peer pressure for the sake of friendship to end up hurting other people's feelings without thinking of it much. It's too late by the time we regret it. Trouble Busters!